Welcome to the Commercial Visitor Management Program. In this session, we'll be covering how to schedule and process visitors at entry points. Keep in mind that certain functions in the program are only available to administrators, so it may be necessary to consult your system administrator for specifics to your installation. Also note that you can run the visitor processing client and the web portal at the same time, which will allow you to input data into the web portal while you are maintaining access control at your post. To log into your program, double-click the padlock icon on your computer desktop. This will open the login screen. Enter your name and password. If you do not know your username and password, check with your system administrator. Select which entry point you are logging into. If you have more than one entry point at the facility, each entry point will be listed, and you must select the entry point you are logging into. Once you have logged into the visitor processing client, notice that the screen is divided into three sections: Host Search, Visitor Search, and Host Details. The action buttons at the bottom of the screen are grayed out until a host or visitor is selected, which we'll explain in a moment. It is also important that you log out at the end of your shift. To close the visitor processing client, click on the red X at the top. There are two search fields located at the top and middle of the screen. The top search field will run a search for host information. You can search by name, address, unit number, or by a custom field, while the lower search field searches by visitor or company name. To the left of the search area is where the host details are displayed. As an example, I will search for an employee by the name of Jessica. I can enter just a few letters of her name, or I can enter her entire name. As you can see, we have successfully pulled up Jessica's information. To view Jessica's information, simply click on her name, and on the left-hand side of the screen, all relevant information pertaining to the host will be displayed. A picture will appear if one has been uploaded, the primary address of the host, their phone numbers, and again, if any host messages have been entered, they will be shown here as well. If either Jessica or the administrator has input any comments into the system, a pop-up box will appear. Comments have a specific expiration date. On that date at midnight, these comments will no longer appear. Directly below the host search is the pending visitor search. This area shows all visitors scheduled for arrival within a selected time frame: 2-hour, 4-hour, or all future visitors. This view makes it more efficient for personnel to select scheduled visitors, as well as to know who will be arriving to the facility and when. The visitor view will be refined to show only visitors associated with a host or department in the event that a host or department is selected from the host search. For example, let's search for a future visitor by the name of Carrie. You can enter just a few letters of her name, or I can enter her entire name. As you can see, Carrie has successfully been found. If I click on her name, the visitor information such as visitor type, expiration date of her pass, the destinations where the visitor should go, and any comments will show on the left-hand side of the screen. If the host or administrator has entered any comments into the system for this visitor, a pop-up box will appear after clicking the visitor's name. The blue buttons at the bottom and on the left-hand side of the screen will allow you to call a host, add new visitors, check in and out, visitor manifest, launch the web portal, and admit visitors. We will discuss some of these features later in this video. Now suppose that Taylor Adams has called the security station to authorize his future guest Beth Davis. First, we will search for Adams to see if his visitor Beth Davis is already on his pending visitor list. As we can tell by the visitor list below, Beth Davis is not on Taylor's pending visitor list. Click on Add New Visitor at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Enter the first name, last name, and if the visitor is with a company, enter the information in the company field. Choose what visitor type, the scheduled date and time of arrival, the date on which the pass should expire, the destination in which Mr. Adams wishes for the guest to arrive, and if there are any comments that Mr. Adams has asked you to include, you can do so in the comments field. Then, click Save. As you see, Beth Davis is now on the pending visitor list. When she arrives, click the Admit Visitor button. If your system is equipped with a driver's license scanner, click the Scan License button. After you scan the license, the required fields will populate. If you do not have a license scanner and your computer has a webcam, you can click Snap Photo to capture an image of the visitor. If your system does not have a driver's license scanner, you must manually enter Beth's information. If your facility requires you to do so, enter the license plate and vehicle information, and then click Next. If you have skipped the license information, or if you have any comments to note, you can do so in the Notes field. Then, print the badge. A preview of the badge appears on the screen. At the top of the badge, the name of your facility will print, and then the name of the visitor, host name, destination where the visitor is permitted to go, and the expiration date. At the bottom of the badge will be the character code that describes the visitor type. If you have taken a photo of the visitor or scanned their license, their photo will also print on the badge. To speed up badge printing, you do not have to see this preview each time you print a badge. Check the box that says, "Do not show this preview again," and the badge will print without the preview. After you have successfully processed the visitor through the visitor processing client and your system is configured with visitor notification, the host will be notified either by email or text message when their guest arrives. In this next example, we will demonstrate how to use the Call button. Let's assume that Karen Lewis has arrived to the security station to see Wayne Carter. First, search for Wayne in the host search field. Click on his name, and his information appears on the left-hand side of the screen. Click the Call button. A list of phone numbers for Mr. Carter will appear in the order in which he wishes to be contacted. Click on the phone number, and if your system is equipped with the teledial feature, your computer has a modem. Click the Call Number button. After you have received approval from the host and you are ready to admit the visitor, click the Add Visitor button. Once again, if your system is equipped with a driver's license scanner, click the Scan License button. After you scan the license, the required fields will populate. If you do not have a license scanner, and your computer has a webcam, you can click Snap Photo to capture an image of the visitor. If your system does not have a driver's license scanner, you must manually enter Karen's first name, last name, company association, visitor type, expiration date of her badge, destination, then click Next. Continue to process Karen as we have demonstrated earlier. Next, we will process a visitor who is returning to the facility. Anthony Cranberry has arrived to see Jessica Blaine. Search for Anthony in the visitor search field. When his name appears, click on his name. Then, click the Admit Visitor button. As you can see, all of his information has already been populated since his license was scanned on a previous visit. You can process him through as we demonstrated in earlier videos. If your system is configured with the voicemail option and a voicemail has been left by a host, you will see a telephone icon on the top left-hand corner of your screen. In this demonstration, we will show you how this feature works. Let's assume Mr. Capello has called and left a voicemail at the security station for his future guest, Jackson Pollock. Click on the telephone icon on the top left-hand corner of your screen. The name of the host that left the message will automatically appear in the host name field. As you listen to the voicemail, you can type in the visitor information, expiration date, as the voicemail is playing. When you are finished entering all of the required information, click Save. As you can see, Jackson Pollock has been successfully saved into your pending visitor list. For the last demonstration, we will demonstrate the Watch List feature. Bob Lee has arrived to the security post to visit Carol Thornton. When you type Bob Lee's name into the visitor search field, his name appears in red. If you click on his name, a pop-up box will appear explaining why he is on the watch list, and any procedures personnel should take when he does arrive at the security post. As you can see, the Admit Visitor button does not activate, and therefore, you cannot admit this visitor. This concludes the training demo for the Commercial Officer Visitor Management Program. As a reminder, when you are finished with your shift, click the red X at the top of the screen to successfully log out.